Well, good times ahead tonight. We're going to put a new end on this headphone cable. I got this from the internet for probably about 50 cents Canadian, shipped from China. So as you can imagine, it's amazing quality. So this is our cable that we'll be working with, and before we get started at all, first things first, always put the boot on first so you don't forget. Now let's see what size we think we are. That was about, nope, maybe try a little tighter. That'll do. So we got our gold, we got our red, and we got our blue. Oh, another piece here. This goes on too. And this is our situation that we're going to be soldering into. So we can assume that that center one here is going to be for the tip, and then the middle one out here is going to be our ring, and obviously this is our sleeve. But we'll just check with the continuity tester because it's better safe than sorry. So I got the tip here, and we said it would be this one. Aha! Now let's try the sleeve, and that'll be this one. Now we check to make sure they're not talking to each other, and we're good to go. Oh, what was that? Okay. We're good. We're good. Now the pinout for headphones, on the tip you have your left, on the ring you have the right, and then your ground is the sleeve. So we're going to use the unorthodox soldering station here, the Behringer cable tester. Move the headphones out of the way. Oh, by the way, these are Sony MDR-XD200s. My dad bought these probably 15 years ago or so. Only one side has been working for the last probably 5-10 years, so they have not seen a lot of use. Now this cable is really fun to work with because you basically have the jacket built into the cable. You don't strip it, you just melt it. Step number 1 is tin the surfaces you want to work on. Step number 2 is tin these somehow. It's okay, I got lots of hands. Just spread them all out. Social distancing. Just like that. I don't work with headphone wire, that might not be the way to do it. That's oxidized. Let's clean that. Alright. That's technically some kind of tinned. We can roll with that. So, yellow is ground, green is right, no, green is left. We said left was over here, and right was over here. What am I doing? Problem is when you watch through the camera, you start getting a lot stupider. Alright, that's hardened up. I'm blind. I'm gonna climb over. Well, that's some kind of end. Now that's not great, because I made it a little too long and we can't actually clamp down on the cable like so. Or maybe yes we can. We'll go at it like that. That'll work. The idea is that we pinch the cable on the jacket so that we're not pinching the individual connectors, and so if you pull on this, you're not putting any stress on the solder joints. So, I'm going to take this and I'm going to try it before I put it back together. And I'm going to make sure that music comes out the correct sides. And I'll report back in a minute. Well, it works, and as you can see, I was listening to some criminally underrated, genre-defying music. One thing I did notice is this is eventually likely to bend in here and touch and short, so we want to avoid that. I'm just going to do the real redneck way and fill it up with some silicone. It's pretty gross, but you got to do what you got to do. I forgot how terrible cheap headphones sound. These ones were probably 40 bucks, and the kick drum sounds like it's panned a little bit to the left, but the vocals are pan center. So the frequency response isn't equal from driver to driver. Yeehaw! It's always the easy part that takes the longest. Ha! Anyone want a silly cone? Ba-dum-tis. Well, let's make an abomination. Or let's not, because the tube is sealed right here too. Come on. I need something a little more scrapey. Or we could try the screw again. Hey, what if I just screwed it in there? Now we're thinking with portals. Where did I put all my bits? It's working. It's working. Huh. Who would have thunk it? Did we make a hole? What's the next step? Drill bit. Let's try a 5/32. The beauty is, now it's all nice and slip and slidey. I do wonder if the whole tube is just shot. Haha! Well, that wasn't fun. But let's make a mess. I actually never checked if this is dielectric. But we're pretty low voltage. I don't foresee a problem. And now let's get our end. And we can clean all that excess off. It's not getting in there as much as I'd like. So, we'll just do that. A thing of beauty. That's gonna get all over the threads and it'll be joyous. That's never coming apart again. Well, I was testing it out and the right channel died again, so then I figured that means my end that I put on wasn't the problem. I cut off a good end for nothing, but that means the problem's somewhere else. So I opened up the right speaker, and lo and behold, our neutral on this side has come unsoldered. I don't know how well you can see that. Let me just clean the silicone goo off of my tweezers. Forceps, tweezers, whatever you want to call them, they're a little goopy. So, that was there, I think, based on what I can tell. So we're just going to solder it there, and we'll find out what's up. See whether or not we guessed right. Now, I took 3 screws out, and I can only find 2. Ain't that just the way she goes? Not a whole lot of much of doing that I gotta do here. It's just a precision maneuver. Oh, and that's a magnet. Was that the right place to solder onto? Let's test it out. It's working. Beauty. Now, just gotta put the darn thing together. No problemo. Just about like that. We'll put a screw in here. We'll put a screw in over here. I don't know if that's engaging. There it is. And let's dig up another screw that might fit. Oh, that's longer than I thought. That might be a bit big. Let's see. Yeah, the head's too big. Let's try this. Oh no, that's a torque, so I don't want to do that to myself. I'm telling you, I got a million screws here and none the right length. Could just go dig up the actual screw. Going anywhere? No. No, it's not. Does it matter though? Because neither am I. I can live with a little play in it. Just make it easier to put together. Voila! Brand new.